Oh, there's definitely challenges when a designer has to design their own home.
My name is Ben Coates with Coates Homes.
My name is Emily Hewett. I own Dallas design firm A Well-Dressed Home. We have decided to build with Coates Homes.
When we're first interviewing for a job, and really we're interviewing a client just as much as they're interviewing us, I think we're trying to explain to them the foundation of how Coates Homes works. We're trying to explain to them our process, our heart, a little bit more about our history. Come on in.
Hi.
Guys, I'm Ben Coates with Coates Homes.
Hi, Emily Hewett.
How are you?
Thanks for coming in. Come on into the conference room.
That's great.
But we're also really trying to figure out, what are they going to be like as clients? Are they going to be decisive? Are they going to take a long time to pick out all their selections? Are they okay trusting us? Thank you so much for coming in. We're so excited that y'all called and said you've got a special new build project. So I want to hear more about your family and a little bit more about the project.
Sure. So we have been married for 11 years and we have 8-year-old boy-girl twins. So we're kind of outgrowing the house that we're in now. We'd like to have a little bit more square footage. We'd love for them to be able to have like their own bedroom and bathroom. And then I do work from home every once in a while. I have an interior design business here in Dallas called A Well-Dressed Home. And so I need a functioning office.
We're followers, so we know your business.
Oh, thank you.
So we're excited, obviously, to get to see the process
That's great.
firsthand.
Thanks for following.
We don't look for certain styles or certain demographics or socioeconomics. That's not what we're looking for. We're looking for people that we can build great relationships with and build amazing high-end luxury homes. And that doesn't have to be a big home. We get a lot of people saying, well, what's your square footage minimum? We'll build 1,500 square feet if it's a thoughtful, well-designed, fun relationship, and we can execute well for that client. Chris, tell me a little bit more about what you're looking for.
Flexibility. She's going to have a lot of desires and wants, obviously, with an eye for this stuff. And so we definitely need someone who's going to be easy to work with, and it's going to see her vision.
That's right. That's so important. I mean, every project that we do, we're trying to figure out what role does the husband play and what role does the wife play.
We do everything from furnishings to new builds to remodels. I came up with a list of builders by asking around the neighborhood, getting references, asking friends and family.
Anyone in any industry is going to give only their best referrals. And so I always think if you can find a common relationship by using social media or LinkedIn or the internet or just someone that you know someone, that's always a great way to find commonality, 1 degree of separation between a potential builder. And I think that's always a huge way to take that first step in building trust.
I heard about Coates Homes through a client of ours that built a Coates home about 6 years ago. They had always talked about what a great experience they had with Coates, so I figured it was worth reaching out.
So tell us a little bit more about the style of the project itself.
So I think Chris and I both agree that we really want a newly built home, but we don't want it to look or feel like a newly built home. We want it to look like, or we want it to feel like something that's been added onto. So that's really important to us.
And what about stylistically? Are you trying to accomplish a certain style, Mediterranean or farmhouse, or what? Is there a certain genre or historical style that you really want to bring out?
I think we both agree more of a New England kind of Cape Cod style is what we love.
Okay, cool. And do y'all want to go shingles with that, like raw natural wood shingles, or are you going to go more white and bright with it? What's the flair?
A lot of white, don't you think? And then maybe a little bit of cedar shake in there.
Would y'all say you're on the same page as far as style? When I sit down with my potential clients, I'm always talking to them about, well, the husband wants this and the wife wants this, and how we marry those things literally sometimes is important. Kind of, are y'all on the same page?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, oddly enough, yes.
He also knows happy wife, happy life.
I do that.
So yes, by default. Yeah, that makes total sense. And what about the house y'all live in now? I mean, what's the style of the house now, and how will it be different with your new house?
That's a good question. I would say the exterior is farmhousey. So it'll be similar, but I think I want to have the interior be a little bit different. Just a little bit more color. Yeah. It's still going to be very traditional, but maybe some pops of modern elements. Lots of oval windows.
Yes.
Our new home style will be very traditional. I'm going to try desperately to keep this home at or under 4,000 square feet. We want it to feel like an old home with a lot of character.
And I think we both enjoy and appreciate a very classic style, something timeless, something that we don't feel like we're going to have to change in 10 years.
I think it's pleasing, but it's livable, it's comfortable.
Yeah.
But yet to the eye, it looks good. So.
The house that we live in now is 80 years old, and it's been added on to. And I love like the creaks in the floors and the, you know, the odd little doorways and stuff like that. But we're excited to have a new build.
It's hard on new builds sometimes to recreate a lot of that charm and that layering. I know that really comes down to good interior design, and good architecture, and marrying those two things. Obviously, we are confident in our ability to execute that, but I think that is really actually hard to accomplish, is having a new house that doesn't feel new, and I love that you're wanting to accomplish that. What stood out about the Hewetts as clients is that I loved Emily and Chris in the way that they can articulate and communicate themselves. If you can't, then it's hard for us and our design team and our architecture team to actually do what the clients want. And I think also just their site, their aesthetic, what they wanted to build was really fun, and I think would stand out in the community, and that's always fun to be a part of. Okay, we've talked a little bit about, what y'all are looking for, a little bit about your family. So I'd love to just kind of take over for a second and tell you a little bit more about us and how we work. So first and foremost, I tell everybody, we don't think we're the best. We don't think we're the only home builder. We love taking on projects that it's a good fit with the client. So we tell everybody we're style agnostic, so we're not looking for a certain style. I'm a huge architect buff in a way. I love and have studied a lot of old historical architecture, and I love where things are going in the future as well. So what we do is ultimately we're not product builders. You'll end with a home that you're gonna love, but really we're in the service industry, because this could be a 2-year relationship just with the pre-construction and the build combined. But then we have post-construction, just the care of your home. This is just part of homes. They're not perfect. There's gonna be little things that come up that we're gonna need to be there for y'all just to tweak things and fix things. So we're in the service industry, we're here to serve y'all, and we're very transparent about the fact that this process won't be perfect, but we have a process. And that's what I wanted to talk to y'all a little bit more about today.
The most important thing to me and my husband about choosing a builder was process and communication. Here at A Well-Dressed Home, we are so incredibly process oriented, and it's just like setting expectations and things like that make a process go so much smoother, and I felt like Ben did that really well for us.
The first thing we're gonna do is I'm gonna put you actually in a room and we're gonna start interviewing architects. So I believe that the more that I can help you control the architect, the engineer, the landscape architect, the permit expediter, the more that I can value engineer the process, the more I can control the experience for y'all that's enjoyable. So my job, honestly, is not just to build you an amazing quality home, it's to create an amazing experience. And what we look at with the architect interview is, are they gonna fit our budget for the project? Are they gonna fit our style? And will you like them? So normally what happens is we've got your lot already, we've got a survey of your lot, and then we've got the architect hired. Let's just go and kind of transport ourselves to that place. So the architect is gonna go ahead and start drawing, doing bubble diagrams, figuring out exactly what y'all want. Usually the architecture process is, we tell people 6 to 8 months, and I think that's very accurate. I've had clients that have taken 12 months though. The expectations are that this could take some time, but this is the foundation building part of home building. So don't rush architecture. And we're gonna pause the plans before we get too far along with the architect, and we're gonna do what's called an opinion of cost, or just an estimate. A budget is something that we view at Coates Homes as permanent. A budget's once we've got all the house plans, and we've got the engineering, and we've got a lot of the design selections, we'll create a budget that we take to the bank, and that is what we're gonna rule by. But in the beginning, to make sure that we're gonna hit y'all's goals for your budget, we like to do an opinion of cost or an estimate halfway through the architectural set. Let's just say the opinion of cost or the estimate comes in and it's close to where you really wanna be budget-wise. We say, good, let's keep going. Or we might say, no, we need to shave 100,000. Let's change some things in the design. We believe in the industry, it's best to hire a home builder first and then build the team, because the builder is the only person with true knowledge of costs of a house. I think the best architects that I've worked with will tell you straight up, no, I can tell you that this is more expensive than this, but I don't know the costs, because they're commodities. They're changing all the time. That's what we do. That's not what they do.
As a designer, we work with clients all of the time that are building brand new homes, and we hear from them that their number one frustration with their builder is that before they signed on the dotted line, they did not have a clear understanding of what their interior allowances would be. So when I say interior allowances, I mean like countertop allowance, flooring allowance, paint allowance. So it was super important to me to be able to talk to Ben and say, hey, look, I need to have a good understanding of what allowances I will get within this price point of a home? And if I don't feel like they're sufficient enough, can I bump those up?
Okay, so I'm gonna stop there. That's a lot of information. What questions do y'all have?
So from a budget perspective, I mean, how much transparency are we going to get?
Great question. When it comes to finances and accounting, we're 100% open book. So we tell everybody, anytime you want to see something, anytime you want to look at the open book budget of your job, anytime you want to come in and even meet with our accountant and look at the physical paper invoices, you can. I think a lot of times it's just about honesty. And so the more you know that you can get the information when you want it, the more you start to build faith and trust in us.
Sure. Speaking of budgets, can we talk allowances for a minute?
Yes.
Because as a designer, that's going to be super important. I know that we have a lot of clients come in that are with a home builder and they're like, oh, I only have X amount of dollars for my decorative lighting or X amount of dollars per square foot for my floor tile. So are we able to see those cost estimates or those allowances, I guess, before we sign a contract with you?
Yes, we want you to be able to look under the hood anytime you want. And I think figuring out those allowances on the front end is probably one of the most important things you can do. I love you said that.
Okay, good. And I couldn't agree more. And so if you give us allowances for everything and I think that we're falling short in a couple of areas, are we able to come back and say, hey, add 15% to this, add 20% to that? Because I know that we're going to spend it.
Yeah. I mean, you know this. Everything is a give and take.
Sure.
So if I'm going to give you 15% more in plumbing fixtures, if I wanted to stay on budget for y'all long term, your net, I've got to take 15% from something else, as you know. And so I think that what I would say is the more we know like that, the front end, the more I can help you, and I can't promise you anything, value engineer the budget.
I am most looking forward to drawing the plans and laying out the plans. My husband and I have talked about a few different things over the last few years, like, oh, if we ever built, we would do this or that. We've taken inspiration from our travels. So I'm really excited to implement all of our ideas into those plans.
Okay, we've talked a little bit about the process and we're getting to drum roll move-in date already. What's your, expectations around timing of how long this should take?
I mean, HGTV does it in a week.
Yeah, no, I know we can for sure not do that.
Well, there you go, being transparent with us, so that's great. I mean, I will tell you, I want it to go as quickly as possible, but I want to do it right from the very beginning. So if plans take me a little bit longer, that's fine. Or if the selections on the interior take me a little bit longer, that's fine. I just want to make sure we do it once and do it right.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, anytime a designer is building their own home, it's going to present a whole new slew of challenges. I mean, indecisiveness is always going to happen whether you're a designer or not, but because we know too much, we know everything that's out there, we know all of the possibilities, that adds an extra challenge. But luckily, I have a really awesome team of designers that's going to push me to be decisive.
Hey, Emily.
Hey, Ben, how are you?
Good, and yourself?
Good. Do you have just a few minutes to chat?
I do.
Okay, great. Well, listen, I just wanted to call and say thank you so much for walking Chris and I through the homes that you guys are constructing. That was super helpful for us to get an idea of quality and all of that. And we are excited to tell you that we have decided to go ahead and build with Coates Homes.
Oh, man, that's awesome.